Hello, I'm Yukish, and this is my 10-hour project presentation. For my project, I wanted to learn more about nonverbal communication, specifically facial expressions, which are how our face shift and contort to display our emotions, whether that is an active or reactive effect. So for the full project, I did a drawing challenge where I made about 25 total expressions to really sort of apply that practice and study of different facial expressions to my own work. So I'll probably switch over to a quick draw recording that I have to display that while I talk. I started off with some research. I read just like an article and watched a few videos to kind of get a better idea of the sort of science behind facial expressions. The significant bits and pieces that I pulled out of it were how facial expressions are actually very much more natural than they are taught. They figured this out by studying Olympic athletes and Paralympic athletes, where both blind athletes and seeing athletes had the same expressions when reacting to victory or loss. And these very high and genuine emotions, they would show the same facial expressions. It's commonly believed that most expressions are more natural as a form of communication, especially ones where they suggest threat, like anger or fear, or important to quickly communicate with one another if there is a threat around. So as I started doing the actual drawing challenge, I started off with the 6 base sort of agreed upon expressions of anger, disgust, fear, surprise, sadness, and happiness. And these expressions just kind of make up the majority of expressions, or sort of the most agreed upon pure expressions of such an emotion, where other expressions are sort of combinations of such expressions or different variants of them. So I started off with those, and I mean right off the bat, a bit more refinement and time that it took me to kind of nail down the sort of looks of my drawings, but also figure out what kind of shapes actually come from those expressions. Things like how the eyes squint when you're happy, or how your eyebrows curve above your eyes when you're surprised. The mouth shape for disgust specifically was a bit of a challenge of figuring out how to nail the shape of that grimace as your upper lip raises up. I think I went in for a bit more stylized fashion of a bit of a wobbly mouth. But yeah, drawing all these expressions kind of made it a bit more apparent how much of our eyes and eyebrows really make up most of our expressions. A lot of the times it's really based off of where our eyebrows are, what shapes they're twisted into, and sort of the raising and lowering of our eyelids that make up a lot of our expressions and what people see from us. Overall, this is a really fun project for me, a lot of good mileage, and working on consistent character drawing as I kind of just doodled myself and found a sort of consistent style and method of doing that. But it's a fun time, a good project, and I feel like I learned a good chunk from it. So from here, the video is just the rest of my drawing, so stick around to the end to see the finished product of all the different drawings displayed all together. Thanks for watching.